That's great, thank you. Councillor Broome.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I reflect again on 2011 and when ACIL recommended Gary's, ACPL at least, no, it was ACIL, recommended through Gary Swift, Council Chamber downstairs, that we bought 55.6%, the majority share, at a rate of, I think it was 1.5 million, which was seen as a pretty good price, all things being considered, back in August 2011. I don't think a majority of us at that point ever we thought that was, my impression from many of us, that was kind of a prudent thing to do, and it was a holding pattern. I don't think at that point we had illusions of expanding and moving our film studio empire back in 2011, but so things have changed. And Madam Chair, Auckland needs houses and council needs cash, and with those two things prevalent in the minds of every Aucklander, this goes completely against common sense and common practice and what people are calling for us to focus on. And it's crazy to think that we're going to be shutting more people out of housing, if you like, in Hobsonville, potentially Hobsonville Point. And when they miss out on those auctions, or the auctions start running dry as the build is complete, we can point them to the Civic Building and say that there's potentially some residential development happening there. You know, this Hobsonville Point is the poster child of residential development, and it's breaking all records as far as turnover of sales prices, and numbers at auctions. And if you said to any of those hundreds of people that miss out on every auction, hey, don't worry, you know, you might be back at Hobsonville Point because there's a film studio coming, they just couldn't and wouldn't believe it. So, look, I hear what you're saying, Brett, as far as people wanting to live and work in the community, but those in and around, if you think of people that you know, and we all know people in and around the television and film studio, are those people living in a development like Hobsonville or Stonefields at the moment? No, they're the grungy types. They're not going to be sitting there in Hobsonville in that kind of development. They'll be sitting in Grey Lynn and in the backs of Titirangi or somewhere. And I cannot see for the life of me that people will be walking out of their door and walking off with their briefcase or their duffel bag or whatever and walking into the film and swiping into the film studios. It just goes against the grain of the nature of those people. And so I think that's a big push. And in fairness to all the consultancy reports that have been written, they don't actually claim that. What we all want, I suppose, is more jobs in the West, and is what Councillor Quacks alluded to, was when you look at our business growth strategies and everything else, it's quite centric and southern heavy, and where the West, where we're getting a lot of people growth, residential growth, there's not as many jobs as there should be. So we're wanting jobs in the West, but do they have to be on the prime piece of headland, Hobsonville Point, one of the most popular residential subdivisions in our lifetime? Does it have to be there? Do we need a campus, a big format campus, precast concrete walls going up there instead of housing? Yeah. And I would say, look, if there's going to be anywhere, then what are other opportunities in the west of Auckland? And I think what amazed me at the last workshop was there we were sitting workshopping this while the film and silver screen business delegation was in Los Angeles. Why wouldn't we wait for them to come back and for them to feed in the discussion rather than have a workshop about film opportunities in Auckland, why our delegation is in Los Angeles? So that was misplaced. And also that ACPL, and there was a board member there that said he had to catch a plane, but he was staggered to think that ATEED claimed that there was no other land in West Auckland to build these big format film studios, and secondly, that AT had not ever approached ACPL in a formal way to go on a search for land to develop a campus somewhere in West Auckland. So, look, for me, it's completely incongruous that we're building a film studio in the most popular residential and arguably down, when you get down on the point there, as I was on Sunday, scenic development currently. And so, but at the same time, I'm happy to support that the option be kept open and that other, players outside what AT might have perceived were the 16, that other potential commercial operators from other parts of the world potentially also get the opportunity to be part of that exercise. So I will be voting for M and N, but my preference, as this would suggest if I voted for this, is for a film studio there. So I won't be voting against JK and I ask if we can split those two lots up, but I will be voting for M and N. And I ask that ACPL, when we do get to, if there is in fact a commercial conditional agreement, that ACPL, that we also don't put it up there as the one and only option, but ACPL come back and give us further detail on how their 14.6 master plan is looking, and particularly they might be able to give us a few more insights, as Councillor Lee has asked for, around potential business area in the business interest in that employment hub. So, Madam Chair, I kind of reluctantly support this because I think we have given, as councillors, no mandate over growing our film studio involvement at a policy level, or a political level, no mandate, nor have we given a mandate to potentially sell up and move to much flasher surrounds. And again, our number one issue in Auckland is housing, and our number one issue at Auckland Council is rates and cash flow and revenue. And so I reflect on the fact of point 25, the ACPL proposal will return to the ratepayer the entire 36 million spent to date. And that should be an option that is actively canvassed when we reconvene on the 31st of October, because that is still attractive, and frankly it'll take a lot to beat what ACPL have put up, but I wish AT all the best.
Okay, thank you. Councillors, I'm just having a look at the time. It's now nearly 2:45. We still have all the SHAs to do before people think this is the last word on affordable housing in Auckland. We've got 10 SHAs that we're looking at, so we need to kind of get
Madam Chair,
a move on.
Point of order.
Yep.
I move that the motion now be put.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Second it? Okay, I'll put it. Moving that the motion be put. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? No. It's carried. We will put the recommendations.
Madam Chair, can we split it? JKL and M and N, two lots.
By division.
I think,
A to L.
councillor, what we might need to do, let's just have a... So you're saying you kind of want to say let's not... So what you want to vote on says you're not going to support JKI.
It's not my preference, but I will agree with M and N, yeah.
Yeah, but M and N... okay, it's kind of... I'm having a little bit of... It is a package. I don't really see how you can split it up. No. You might like to note your... we can note Councillor Brewer concern on JKL or something like that, but you're either for it or against it, really. So,
Okay, if I can note that.
we will
J to L.
do put the recommendation by division.
This is...
JKLMN.
So, councillors, by division, it's on your screen, but also in the papers in front of you. The N is an addition proposed by Councillor Watson, which was accepted by the mover, Councillor Clow. It's clear on everything? All right. Councillor and I?
Aye.
Councillor Brewer?
No.
Councillor Casey? No. Councillor Cashmore?
Yes.
Councillor Clow?
Yes.
Councillor Darby?
4.
Councillor Filipina?
4.
Councillor Crum?
4.
Councillor Lee?
No.
Member nominee?
Aye.
Councillor Penrose?
Yes.
Councillor Quacks?
Yes.
Councillor Stewart?
Yes.
Member Taipari?
Aye.
Councillor Sir John Walker?
Yes.
Councillor Wayne Walker?
Yes.
Councillor Watson?
Yes.
Councillor Webster?
Yes.
Councillor Wood?
Yes.
And Deputy Mayor Hulse.
Aye.
Thank you,
Carried
gentlemen.
17-3.
Okay, so we start the process. We've got several months and hopefully we'll see what happens. Thank you all for that very useful discussion. I'll move, we go to confidential. Thank you. Councillor Webster. Actually, hang on, just Councillor Webster just moved the going into confidence. Is there a seconder for that?
I'll take it.
Councillor Wood, I'll put that. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against, carried. We'll just take a 5-minute adjournment.